So today we're going to add additional wax to the foundations. This is to promote the bees to build better comb. First of all, we have to melt the wax, and I do it in a skillet. And we take the frame and we just paint the melted wax onto the foundation, making sure we get all the corners and try to get an even coat, but it's not all that important. You basically want to highlight the hexagons that are already there. When you start seeing the hexagon shapes, kind of like a white highlight, you'll know you have enough on there. And if you notice the upper right corner or top of the frame there, you'll notice like a notch out or a little cutout. That just gives the bees an extra place to travel. It's sometimes an option. It'll be a little perforated area that you can choose to break off when you're building your frames and foundation. I use a natural bristle brush to paint the foundations with. I believe if you use plastic or something like that, it would melt in the skillet if you left it set there any length of time. And you just continue this process until you got it all done. Going through making sure you get all the foundations edges and so on and so forth. Give it a moment so you can see that it is highlighting the hexagon shapes once it dries. I like to use the top of the frame on the outside of the skillet there to help stabilize it as I'm painting the wax onto the comb. Doing this prevents it from getting what I call wonky comb, where the bees will not start their comb formation in certain areas and they just extend out from the comb they have built. And it kind of extends out and connects to the other frame, and it just becomes a mess. Or it extends out and then they build, what could be like tunnels, and it just isn't a good way to manage your frames. There's a good close-up of what it should look like. Here's an example of what I call wonky comb, where you can see they've built in certain spots. And you can see how they build out instead of continue building on the frame, because for some reason or another they didn't like that foundation in those areas. The additional wax does help prevent that, because they do seem to like the fresh start with wax. And you get a nice even comb formation. Something else I'd like to point out is the need for propolis in the hive. It helps with the immunity, or the natural immunity that propolis gives for the hive. It used to be something we'd scrape out of the hives. Now we try to promote it. And you can do so by adding additional scratches inside the hive where they'll actually build and attach to propolis. One other thing you might have noticed is foundations come in two different colors, or several colors. The light color is preferred for the honey supers, so you can see stuff more like your hive beetles. It's good contrast. And the dark color is for more like your brood box or your deeps, so you can see your eggs, your larvae and stuff. It's all about the contrast. I want to thank you for watching this video, and if you would, please subscribe. Have a good day.